Okay, I get a lot of questions on how to practice with tour read. So what I'm gonna do, I've got a nice straight putt here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit my putt. And I just wanna, I'm gonna wanna record that. So I'm gonna set it down here. It did have a little break to it. I hit it a little bit hard. That's gonna be 1.5 inches left of the pin. I'm just gonna go to this upper right hand corner, tap it real quick, say hold. Okay, so that's gonna give me some feedback on my break, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and hit another one. Again, pretty straight. Go ahead and hit my putt. Okay, I missed a little bit right. So I'm going to go tap it here. Very, very straight putt. Missed it right. I'm going to go ahead and add that in. Last one, hold. I'm going to call that good speed, under 3 feet. And I'm just going to add that in. Now what I want to do, that's going to give us some feedback on how we're doing with straight putts. Obviously we want our straight putts to be really good, right? I'm just going to turn this into a right to lefter here real quick. Just kind of random, I haven't measured this, but now we've got a little bit of a right to left putt. So I can go ahead real quick. I love this thing, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead. And just for the sake of making this a little quicker, I'm not going to go through the whole process. But I'm going to play this about 5 inches out from the center of the hole. Go ahead and hit my putt. Boy, I broke a lot more than I was expecting it to. I'm going to go ahead, set this down here. Yeah, that's 7.3 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. I'm going to call that good speed, under 3 feet. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, that's just give me some feedback. At least now I know that wasn't my stroke. I just underread that, right? Now I'm looking at this break and thinking, wow, this is going to break a lot. I'm going to go ahead and give this maybe 11 inches. Yeah, just caught the edge, but hey, wind's as good as any. So I'm going to go ahead a little higher up here. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that. Yeah, 14 inches. Probably why it went in the left center, but hey, I'll take it. So I'm going to call that that's obviously a hold putt, right? So that's going to do it for my right to lefters. Now I might hit, in a normal practice session, I'm going to go ahead and hit more putts than that. I'm just showing you what we can do in terms of how to practice, right? So this is going to give us all kinds of great feedback. After we go through this, I'm going to show you the stats that it keeps, and really the putt mapping is what we're calling it, because it gives us a real good take on where exactly we are with our putting. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to real quickly turn this into a left to right break. I'm just going to go ahead and pump these up. Again, typically when I'm using this, I'm going to go ahead and hit, practice my left to righters, practice my right to lefters. A little bit more than this, just showing you for the video. Okay, so now we've got a putt that's going to be moving, from left to right. I'm going to go ahead and call this one, and I don't like to put it exactly in the same spot, so I'm going to move it up a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and call this about 8 inches. It's going to be a tricky putt. Go ahead and hit that. I thought I did pretty well there. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here. This would be a good example of using the average feature. Quite a bit of break here. Not a lot of break here, right? I'm going to hit the average feature here in the bottom right. That's going to give me 10 inches. I might have hit that a little bit firm, but nonetheless it went in. So I'm going to call that a hold putt. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go for the right cup. Not quite as much break in this. I'm still comfortable with my 8 inches. So go ahead, hit my putt. Yeah, maybe more than I thought. So I'm going to come down here, hit that, right? Yeah, quite a bit of break in this one actually, right? So 11 inches, let's call that. Again, less here, more there, right? I'm going to go ahead and say I missed that long right, but under 3 feet. Okay, so that's 6 putts, right? I think a normal practice session, more like 18, 36. Again, I like to do more of them in a row. But here's the really cool part. I'm gonna go to the upper right-hand corner, and this is gonna give me a really good view of my result, my mapping, right? So this is gonna give me a cool view of what we're actually doing. 54% of my putts were hold, 13% were right, 14% was left. Pretty good there. Now we're gonna go to strokes gained. Cool part about this is it's giving us strokes gained, you know, not just on all of our putts, but our left to right to lefters, different lengths. Our make percentage is cool. Our high-low bias, this is huge. So I feel like I'm a pretty good green reader. I'm missing 22% of my putts overall low, right? Which is, you know, way too many. My left-right bias is pretty good. I've got a left bias of 4%. Anything under 10% is great. You know, 4% is pretty good. Just shows you that, you know, I'm hitting them on line, but there's always room to improve our green reading, right? Pace bias, another cool one. You know, I typically hit 12% of my putts, a little bit long. A little bit of an aggressive putter, always have been. Hard to get that out of my head. I expected 3 putts is pretty cool. Just kind of what you'd think of somebody at your caliber would have. So again, I'm gonna go back to the results map. Super cool way to track what we're doing, you know, and then what we can do then, we can hit a bunch of putts, and the cool thing is we're getting feedback. We're hitting our putt, we're getting feedback on our read, and then we're putt mapping it, right? So we can get a real good handle on what we need to do to improve. Appreciate your help. Any questions, feel free to reach out to us on social. Love to see people making more putts. Thank you.